Welcome to my marketing research proposal on the expansion challenge for HelloTech, an on-demand tech support provider. In an hour-long conversation with Richard Walport, the CEO and co-founder to HelloTech, an on-demand tech support provider, timeline information was presented for the Los Angeles City launch, as well as current consumer information on the Los Angeles consumer profits. I learned that the consumer tech support market is worth $20 billion and only 15% share belongs to the Geek Squad. After thorough note-taking and understanding Mr. Walport's future vision for HelloTech, I did a little digging around myself. On-demand startups with city-to-city launch. You cannot expect one strategy to fit every region's market. It's not a race to expand and being the first to market, but understanding the market that you're entering and knowing what works. Understanding audience, knowing what your competitors are doing in services, prices, and infrastructure. Which leads to my management decision problem. What should be done about expanding HelloTech into other cities, and how will 5 to 6 out of 20 to 25 cities become regional office locations? My marketing research problem statement is as follows. A type of conclusive research, descriptive research, will provide information on what specifications and requirements of on-demand services needs to be met by the consumer and what factors are used determining a tech support provider. Specific information to the problem components are asked in research questions for HelloTech. Research question number 1. Do people trust on-demand service providers? Research question number 2, what factors impact trust in on-demand service providers? And research question number 3, what factors impact use of a tech support provider service? My hypothesis statements, which will be tested, are the following. Hypothesis number 1, people trust on-demand services. Hypothesis number 2, factors that have an impact on trust are ease of use, instant gratification, and speed of transaction. Hypothesis number 3, factors that have an impact on tech provider use are reputation, satisfaction, and experience with tech issue. After studying pre-existing research, the flow theory fit accordingly. The flow theory suggests staging the optimum online experience for the consumer. Flow theory suggests through a flow and ease of using a website that the consumer will navigate, and that ease can create the intent to purchase. Exploratory research provided variables that suggest that the flow experience significantly determines consumer attitude towards website and the organization's website. Therefore, flow experience increases the need to revisit and repurchase for that same experience again. Exploratory research on the on-demand economy provides themes and topics that continuously pop up, such as core on-demand services, consumer technology, consumer behavior, and complementary services. The on-demand economy is growing rapidly, where companies such as, Uber, are expanding city launches. How is it possible for a successful city launch? Key elements are instant gratification and frictionless user interface. Before the on-demand economy took flight, e-commerce business and business-to-consumer models were a hot topic. Concerns to the business-to-consumer e-commerce model was risk and uncertainty in using online transactions. Exploratory research in quantitative data suggests reputation, satisfaction with past transactions, and multiple use of the site builds trust, usefulness, and makes the web easier to use. After comparing multiple studies, including the ones presented, I have built this model on how HelloTech can create loyal customers. A consumer is in need of an on-demand service. A consumer then chooses a tech support company that provides on-demand service based on trust to resolve their issue. After services are fulfilled, consumer evaluates company in comparison to past tech support they have received. If consumer is more than satisfied with the service, they become a HelloTech customer. Due to extensive amount of exploratory research found on topics and industries such as on-demand economy and business to consumer business, I believe conclusive research in descriptive research can attain the best information, proving my hypothesis and analytical model. Methods used would be surveys, observation of other data, and secondary data in quantitative analysis. The reason for my research methods. Research question number 1. Do people trust on-demand service providers? I believe quantitative data in the form of surveys can gather sufficient data proving hypothesis true or false. Research question number 2. What factors impact trust in on-demand service providers? Again, quantitative data in secondary data quantitative analysis can gather sufficient and rich data proving characteristics building trust. Research question number 3. What factors impact use of a tech support provider service? Again, quantitative data in the form of surveys can provide sufficient and rich data on elements for using a tech provider. Disseminating these forms of research all over America and regionally will provide information on consumer demands. Using channels such as social media, online, email, and business affiliates will help gather data. The data collected will conclude to the specifications and requirements of an on-demand services needs that need to be met by the consumer and what factors are used determining a tech support provider. With the help and understanding the data collected, we will then begin to understand which regions HelloTech can expand into, and out of those regions, in close proximity, what would be a good area and city for regional office locations.